Okay guys, I'm gonna continue with cleaning up this skateboard deck art. So yesterday morning was that last live stream I did, and since then this much has been cleaned up. So this is, here, let me take this off. So yeah, all of this that's gray is now cleaned up. And then all the blue is what I'm going to continue cleaning up. So I'm just going to start jamming with this. I have that white layer that I turn on to kind of fade everything away. You see the Mad Ball reference. So I'm just going to jump in here and start cleaning it up. I actually did not have one of the Mad Balls, believe it or not, in the 80s. I thought, I don't know why I didn't have one of these. They looked fun, but no, didn't have a Mad Ball. So again, I was really on the fence about cleaning this up, but then I realized there were lots of things that I just hadn't worked out in the rough Blueline, and I needed to, make sure that when I go into the inking that it's, you're feeling more confident. So that what happens is, if you didn't have a strong drawing, okay, you're gonna go into the inking and then you're trying to do two things at once. You're trying to ink it to give it clarity and give it style, but then you're also trying to fix things at the same time, and if you have too many things to fix, it can just be a mess because you're trying to think of too many things at once. So having a nice solid drawing that I'm confident with will help me go into that next phase. Okay, and then what I'm doing here is that I'm filling this in so that I know this is done. And there, that's the Mad Ball. I think in the original skateboard deck art, it was a shrunken head. So what I'm trying to do is pick toys that would be a good match for the 80s version. So, instead of the shrunken head, I thought, oh, a Mad Ball, that'd be fun. Okay, and then I'm moving over to now. This game was awesome. I don't know if you had this game. I didn't have it. I don't remember having it. We have it now. My kids know this game. This is fun. We actually got one of these. My family and I will do. We've had 80s New Year's parties for years. My kids have been raised hearing that music, and we get dressed up and the whole deal. It's a lot of fun. So one of the things we started to do is collect some of these games so that we could play them that night. And this is one of them. My wife found Perfection at the thrift store, and it was complete, which was amazing. This was a fun game. Now you're obviously not trying to do every piece in the game, you're just giving the impression of it. Extra pieces lying out. So even though this phase is tedious, it will, for me, it will help me be more confident going into the inking. Lost my music for a second there. Sorry about that. It's a one-man band over here. You gotta do everything. Okay. Perfection. Got that. This is a cool feature about Procreate is you have a selection tool where you select and it fills in, just as an auto fill in. It's just a good time saver when you're doing flatting and stuff. Okay. And then some of these I'm putting a different tone in there. Let's make these white. Again, a lot of this is, you're motivating yourself. So even though this isn't, the final color, I'm just putting a little tone in there, and it just helps you to see things better. When you're doing your composition. So there's the perfection game. Okay. Okay, let's do some of these muscles just for fun. Wow, I've maxed out the layers. So I ran out of layers because there's so many. And this is to, I believe I did this to scale. It's to a skateboard, so it's huge. Okay, so I got my reference here, and I can scroll through, and I got all my muscles here. Now this, we had lots of muscles. We were big collectors of these. Here's like the baby muscle. Again, this is such a tiny thing. When you zoom in, you think, you know, like your world is this, but then when you realize it's like that, it's just this tiny little reed. You don't need every detail. I think that is one of the not problems, but the things about digital is that because you can zoom in, you tend to think your world is this, and it looks bad, but then you need to realize it's this. It's like context, and so you'll I think over render things with digital. So there's baby muscle. Make him a little smaller. So the goal for these cleanup sessions is clarity. So, you know, remember I started off with a thumbnail. That's the idea. The second phase was the rough blue line, where you're thinking of structure. And now it's cleanup, and it's more detail and making sense of things. Let me find that 6-armed muscle. Oh, there we go. Had that guy. He was cool. So yeah, this phase is just, you know, locking down the clarity of it. Then when I move into inking, it'll be more about style and lights and darks and clarity. and there's a balance in this between making it, you know, exactly like the thing, and it's just a cartoonish version of it. That's what I'm trying to focus on here. It's just a fun, the overall deck, I just want to be fun and nostalgic. I'm just darkening up this line here. There we go. You zoom out, it looks okay. Don't zoom in. And there's one more muscle down here. And it's this creepy kind of hand. There you go. Okay, we're coming to the end of this little 20-minute session. Okay. And again, this is like one more round of cleaning it up before inking it. Inking is not my strong suit, so that's where things are probably gonna slow down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so in that little session, I got 3 muscles done. I got the perfection game and the mad ball done. So that's the end of this session. I'm gonna keep going. There's just more and more of these, as you can see, that still need to be done, but making a lot of progress. Thanks for tuning in again. And until next time, keep drawing and keep designing.